welcome to the Let's Talk Vicky. And what we're going to talk about today is something called a smear campaign. And I'm pretty sure most of you at one point or another have had this happen. To be honest with you, if you're with a narc or a psychopath or sociopath, it has happened. Every one of you have experienced it, or you will experience it. Here's the crazy part. Some of you may say, no, that really didn't happen to me. It did. It's just, you didn't know. No, you didn't know it happened. So that can happen. There's like different levels to it. And why would there be different levels? What smear campaign is where they may be getting ready to discard you and you don't know that. Remember, in most cases of a narcissistic relationship, you're not there for keeps, okay? You're temporary, all right? And I don't care if you feel like you're the chosen one. I don't care if you feel like you're going to change them, because they can't be changed. But you are got your heart set on that I'm the chosen one to change them. They can change you. That may work. Okay, remember, like, especially if they start getting older and they're ready to settle, they lost everything, so they have nothing to gain anymore. But the thing is, they have to change you. If this narc is going to pick you for the one to, okay, I'm now 70 years old, you know, and if they're going to pick you, you will have to change, and you don't even know it. A lot of times it's done so slow, you have no idea that you're pretty much living their life, or the way they want it. You just got really, really used to it. Other than those cases, you are temporary and you're going to be discarded sometime. Maybe once, maybe twice if you keep going back. But there's a smear campaign that's done. And it's basically as easy as putting that insecure little kid on the playground that name calls. Or, you know, the bully that just name calls and bullies other kids. That's pretty much in a nutshell what they're like. It's all due to the insecurity. It's, you know, they have no boundaries. They have no conscience. Now remember, this is not hard for them. This is not hard. They don't have a conscience of caring you hurt somebody, whatever. They have no boundaries of what they do. And, you know, it's all about them. And when I say it's about them, it's because when the breakup happens, or there's a really good chance that when you're in the relationship, you're actually a pretty bold person and you're not allowing certain things to happen, or you're starting to shine. Let's say this. You got groups of friends, you go out with friends or family, and the friends of their friends start really liking you better. Like, this is a really great person. Well, guess what happened? The spotlight came off of them. So they have to break you down with the friends somehow. You may not even know it's going on. The only time most even know really it's going on is a lot of times after the discard, the breakup, and, you know, they start hearing it from other people and get to you. Otherwise, you may never know. You may never know if you was, the time you will really, really know is in court, because they're going to be doing it right on the court stand. So yes, that's even going to be documented. So here's what I'm saying. You're going to know in some cases, and you're not going to know, but it does happen to you, and it will happen to you, and it is happening to you. You just don't know in certain cases and do know in other cases. And that's basically it. Is all they want to do is trash your credibility, trash your reputation. And so in their head, they're still looked at as the greatest light. That's really it. Everyone's situation is going to be different. They want to come out of this being the hero, the great person, because so they can get some more supply. I mean, they start building a reputation that, they're not a nice person or anything. They're not going to get other people victims in their life, and it's mostly for them. They always have to be the highest light. They always have to be in control. And if they don't start smear campaigning you, they lost control. They've got to be up here. They've got to be on top of it at all times. And it's even in the weirdest, smallest psychological ways. It's not always noticeable. So let's go kind of into this. I'm going to have a little sip of coffee. You guys got your coffee ready? Tea maybe? Wine? Even maybe something a little stronger? That's up to you. I don't care. It's our moment. Where are the areas that they smear campaign? And we're going to try to keep this as simple and understanding as possible. It could be through friends, your work and their work, family, neighbors, and court. Okay, those are the main areas that they can smear campaign you. Now, some victims may not get it very bad or even notice it because they've got a very close family, they got very close friends, and, those people know them. They know them, that it's not going to bother it. So here's the thing, they don't feel it as much. It depends how long you've been together. The narc, when they know they got you, okay, there's 3 stages in a narcissistic relationship, and there is another video on that. Now, the love bomb stage lasts a certain amount of period. Everybody's different. When the love bombing stage ends is all determined how easy you are to love bomb. Remember, this is all being tested, and it's really crazy. It's just that to even believe this, that everything is more of a calculated. So that's why the love bomb stage is different. It's when they feel they've got you, and it's frozen and it's secure, then they'll slowly, teeny bit by bit, do the discard. And that could be just about anything. They don't like anything we used to do. You don't do anything anymore. They insult you here and there. The little things that were cute about you are not cute anymore. All kinds of small things. And don't say every day's bad, because a lot of people say, well, he doesn't, or she doesn't always do that. No, they're going to throw crumbs and get you back up here. They're going to love bomb you back and forth, because if they degrade you all the time, they know you're going to be out the door. You're going to pick up. They don't want you picking up what they're doing. So it'll be pull you in, pull you out, pull you in, and then you just kind of going like this. Usually no explanations. So that's the stage I'm talking about. When they're preparing the stage of slowly getting you, they like the control. See, they like doing this. It's all a sport. It's all part of the game. People will say, well, if they know they're going to kick them out the door, just do it. No, they like the game. It's all the control. They love the manipulating, because they need you to feed off of their emotions. They're like vampires that need all this love, all this attention, all this recognition, all this respect, and they can't make it, for themselves, because they don't like themselves. Okay, they're very insecure. It's just very difficult to understand, but that's what's going on. So no, they're going to hang on to you as long as they can. If you allow them to manipulate you, once you realize it is or not sure, and you stay around or you keep coming back, that's fun for them. The sport keeps going on. But a lot of the times they got a new supply now, and it's on the side, and they're going to do it. So that's the stage. I hate to backtrack there, but that's the stage it can start. And most likely it does in some ways. Very, very small, though. It just gets bigger as they're ready to get rid of you. They're planting the stage. They're getting ready for the harvesting, okay? Right now is just planting the seeds. So, if you got a really, really tight family and really, really tight friends, they're not going to pick those people unless there's one or two that they know they can manipulate. So, they'll lean more to maybe people at work, their work, your work, that they know. Neighbors can be really easy because they're not around you 24/7. Neighbors are one of the easiest because they know you, but they don't know you. Okay, court. We're gonna leave court for another video because when you have children involved, this is a whole nother ball game, and we're gonna make a dedicated video of that. So we're gonna kind of stick to the friends, the work, the family, neighbors. Pretty much all of them are the same. They'll if they know, they're very selective who will believe them and who they can get close to. They may even get that person closer, work on that first, and they'll just throw little seeds. Here's an example of a neighbor situation. They're always very gracious to the outside world. They're always charming. People like them. They're always helpful to the outside world. That's the image they create for them. Okay, it's all for them, and it's because they want to always be seen in the highest light. So once that happens and they create that, what they do is, as they're starting to do the discarding or starting to do that degrading area, planting the seeds, they may see the neighbor and, yeah, how are things going? And like, yeah, really well. I'm worried about my girlfriend, my wife, my husband, whatever, is being really weird. I'm really, really concerned about them. I love them so much. He goes, whoa, what do you mean? Oh, well, been acting a little, flipping out, and there's depression and things like that, and I'm very concerned. I'd like them to get help, but right now we'll just see what just happened. Act very concerned, act like the victim, and they are concerned about this person, that things are going wrong with them mentally. Well, he or she's a really good gal, but one time, they used to use people, or like ran around. It could be anything. It was, she got caught or he got caught in bed with her husband, or wife, that's why they divorced, talking past tense, another relationship, like making up a secret that doesn't exist. And all they have to do is, like, let's say one time you're out working in the yard or everything, and the narc will always stay calm. I want you to remember that everything. Remember that in everything. In public, in court, everything. The narc will always stay calm. They've got control of everything. And if you get mad and wig out, what does that do? It proves to whoever the outside world, that person's right. See, look, I'm standing nice and calm. They're over there screaming like a crazy person. Because the narc caused it. The narc caused it. It's amazing how they do this. They push till you like get mad in front of somebody, or even something even small, or you'll be in your backyard where you feel safe, but they're staying really calm, and they egg you and do something, and then you like get angry at them, but all the neighbor heard was you getting angry. Now picture in your head what they just told the neighbor not too long ago, and now what they just heard. It now convinces them. Like, they don't know what the argument was about. It could have been a simple argument, or you're mad at them because, the rake fell in front of you or something. They don't know that. You can see how that works, okay? And that's what they do. And this all for a reason, okay? Everything is a reason. They don't remember, a narc never takes responsibility for their actions. What's going to happen here when they get rid of you? They know you may tell people the truth. They know you may tell people how this was, what all happened. the dark side of them or whatever. So they're already covering their tracks because they don't want to take responsibility for that behavior that was real. Remember, the narc can also smear campaign you on things that are real, like you did do. Meaning, when we told you on the 3 stages, be careful when you're first meeting someone and they're asking too many questions and they just woo you, that they care so much, and you tell a lot of personal things. It could be something you did that was really stupid at 15 years old, no big deal, but it was really stupid. It was something you did when you were a kid, and they have that information now. They'll take it and tell other people and maybe blow it up a little more. And so that's kind of a weird thing that's true, but they're using it to smear campaign you. Like sharing your personal information that you gave them that was supposed to be bonding between you, and then blowing it up bigger, or make something up. So it could be either or they can do to you. It could be real story, exaggerated, that you shared with them, or it could be just totally made up, like your normal stuff. Cheating, going crazy. Crazy is a big one. Stalking, crazy. That's the easiest one because they can piss you off and everyone will say, oh yeah, they are crazy, So that's the easiest for them to tool. The other thing is they need to be in control. We just discussed that before. They have to be in control. So they have the game plan ahead of time. Don't think it's their first time they've done it. I'm sure it's like a boy or girl learning to kiss in high school. At first, you don't know what you're doing. By the time you're 20, 25, you know what you're doing. It's the same thing for them. They have been learning this and training on it from day one, even people in their family when they were young. Okay? This took a lot of practice. So by the time you meet them, 18, 19, 20, they've got it pretty perfected. All right? So like I said, some people may not get affected by this, and for other people, it could be victims. It could be the worst thing that ever happened in their life. Even if you feel you didn't get affected by this, don't think they didn't do it. It was just by people you did not know. Okay, that was it. Don't think they didn't. They did. But it's the people that you didn't know, didn't matter. Maybe you have a tight relationship with all your family. There's other people that may have just moved to this area, or their family is very limited or small, and they don't have those people to lean on. And let's say one time you didn't have a really good relationship with your family, and then it got really great. Maybe they love this new guy, new girl. This is like, they got the love bombing the same way you did. So they can actually, and I'm going to keep it short because there's many ways of doing it, they can actually turn everybody in really, 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 really bad cases, depending how long you're together, your whole family, your own children, all your friends. And then obviously it only takes us 1 or 2 friends that truly believe that narc. Oh, they looked me right in the eye. There's no way they were lying. No, a narc is a professional. Okay, professional actors. They can make anybody believe them. And plus, they build up the behavior before that. So you can have two friends that believe, and then it spreads. So long as those 2 friends believe, they can spread it to the others, like a virus. So it can go both ways. You never got affected at all, that you felt. Okay, this happened to me. I never thought I really got smear campaign personally, because I had close friends. I had a family that we've always been close. But then I found out after we broke up, from a new supply from his, all the things he said about me. That is huge, okay, when you break up. So the supply, it changes when you break up. So anyways, may have gotten affected like this, and it was horrible. You're an island, you went through all this mental trauma, you went through all this manipulating and conditioning, and then on top of that, they took away everything you trusted as support, and those are people in bad shape. You really need to go see somebody to talk to, because you can't be an island, you can't go into depression from it. And then there's the other people, get out, angry, manipulation, mentally was abused, but they have the support of the family, friends, because They didn't smear campaign them. They smear campaign people that didn't really matter to you. It was like their friends. Does that make sense? Their friends, their family, their loved ones all think you were the bad guy. But for you at this point, don't worry about their friends, their family. Even if they smear campaigned you, their family may not know anything, the dark side of them. Remember that. It's hard to, there's ones that no family or friends ever knew. They've played out in the public to be this great person. They'll get themselves involved in charities. They'll get themselves involved in churches. They'll get whatever make them look good. You know what I mean? So that's what people saw, so they believe them. Don't worry about those people. Don't worry about those people. You're not going to be involved with those people again in your life. You know, get out of Dodge. Don't come in and fight it. And that's the other thing I do want to tell you. But we're going to sneak into that. In the healing process happens. Don't fight it. Just don't fight it. Yeah, you can defend yourself, and that's the hardest thing in the world. I think it's the worst thing in the world, to be accused of something that you did not do. To be accused of something you did not do, plus knowing what this person just did to you and degraded you in a relationship and what they had done. Put it together, you should be angry. You want to get even. You want to expose them through the world. But what I'm telling you, you know what? Do your speech, whatever you need, and walk away. One time. That's it. Because the narc wants you to keep fighting and defending yourself, which is horrible. You never can prove anything that never happened. You can only prove what did. They keep it going. You got to remember, narcs, attention. It doesn't matter if it's good attention or bad. You scream and yell at them. I am dead serious. You want to keep fights and you keep coming back and trying to prove your innocence and whatever. You know what they're thinking in their head? Wow, he or she can't leave me. Look at this. They want me that bad. They're fighting for me. I'm telling you, serious. If you remember that, keep that in your head, that's what they're thinking. That you want them so bad, you're fighting for them. You're not coming over and proving they don't care. They don't sometimes even know real from non-real. I'm telling you, sometimes they do not know real from unreal. They're like happy that they made you ticked off. They love it because that's control. They make you mad, you get screaming and yelling, you know, whatever. They're like, yeah, look, I got total control of this. I can manipulate her, get her mad, do this. I got a puppet on a string. So the things you really want to do and you probably should do, and it's totally emotional correct because you have a healthy mind, is fight back and defend yourself. You're not going to do yourself any good. Say your piece straight to their face, whatever you need to say, walk around and never show up again. And the best thing is go out and have the best life you ever had. That is the thing that pisses off a narc the most. That you moved on and you're happy without them. It is always the opposite of the emotion you're feeling inside. Okay? So really, if you need to repeat this video here again, you do it anytime you need it, because you're going to go through that. We all did. We can't let go. You've got to let go. All right? Because that makes them happy that the whole plan worked. Okay? The whole plan worked. So those are the things, and look forward, never back. Look forward, never back. And get therapy or counseling if you need it. A lot of victims don't want to do it because they just went through a relationship that somebody defending themselves, that somebody's telling them they're crazy, they're cuckoo, they do this, they do that. So think about it for a minute. Now you're going through all this trauma, you walked away, and then you say, I need counseling. It almost makes you feel what they said is true. It makes you feel, wow, maybe I am crazy. You know, it's almost like you don't want to make that step to a counselor or therapist because it feels like you're proving that they embedded this in your head and trashed you so bad about being crazy. You're almost afraid to make that step, but don't. You're not crazy. You're just going to a counselor therapist to help you break up the puzzles and understand what just happened, okay? They had to have control. Remember, that's what it's all about. So get there. They do. The other thing I want to do tell you, some therapists are much better, or counselors with narcissistic relationships than others. If you're not feeling really comfortable with the one you have, keep going. It's like buying a car. I hate to say that, but it's most important you find one that is what you're looking for. Okay, so sometimes the counselor that actually went through a relationship with a narc are the best ones because they have the medical side and reasoning, and then they plus lived it and they're really good. So be selective of who. Don't be afraid to not go there anymore and move on. Again, at the end, no engaging, no contact, we call it. Say your piece. Once you've reached that point, you knew this happened. I know you want to dig your claws into them with things in the relationship plus the smear campaign. Don't. Just, that's it. You look like the sane one by being the one that walked away. You keep coming back and being crazy. What are you doing? You're proving the outside world he was correct or she was correct. Because all they have to do is say, look, I told you. Crazy. So just kind of get the blinders off and see what the outside world sees, knowing what they told them, all right? And the last thing, but last two, is they'll do smear campaigning to protect themselves. When the big day comes, okay? When the big day comes that you made the choice to leave or it got bad enough. I mean, obviously, if you didn't make the choice to leave, it's going to still go on. You'll be in their lives to be a puppet. And they may be entertained by 2 or 3 other ladies or men on the side, and you don't even know. So I'm telling you, you're the one that has to end it. You only be, they'll want to be the one that is there, that, they're setting you up so everybody thinks it was your fault, not them. That's not it. But, I mean, in your head mentally, you're the one that's got to make that choice because they'll lead you on forever. Ever, ever, ever. You'll be a sidekick forever, ever, ever. It'll just get worse and worse. But that is your choice. But if you do, you can't turn around. You can't turn back. No engagement. No contact. Everything. It's like they didn't exist anymore and you move that way. If you have children in your life, that's a different story. That'll be a different video. But other than that, they also do the smear campaign. Again, when it ends, it looks like they're the good person to the people around them. That's what you're trying to prepare. That works for them and then doesn't work for them. Remember, some people, victims, come in with very close family and friends and it didn't work that. But it works with the people that they're around. But it won't work with your friends or family. Other people don't have secure relationships like that with their family or friends. The other part will be, they may be going to court. That's something different. And the other part is, this is the other smear campaign. It's more the private smear campaign. The new supply. They are doing it for a couple reasons. They've got to play the victim, because that is a love bombing tactic, believe it or not. When they play the victim, it just pours the new victim's heart. Oh, you poor thing, you went through that. Oh my gosh, you poor thing. And that makes you love them more. It makes you want to nurture them more. So this is crazy, but their victimizing kind of smear campaigning thing is actually part of love bombing. You will love them more because of it, because you feel so bad for them. Kind of what they went through. And some of the other things in the smear campaign may be true, like maybe things in their childhood or with their friends or something that happened to them through life and work or where they went to or anything like that. That may be true. okay? But they exaggerate. So there may some truths in like their personal smear campaigning when you're a new victim, but they're exaggerated. Then the other part is he or she will start talking about the past relationships. That's where the smear campaign comes in with the new victim. Oh, they did this, they cheated on me, they stalked me, I gave them this and everything. They also do the guilty thing. I'm going to backtrack again. They'll do, when you're with them, the guilty thing of if you're in the middle where you're not quite out of the relationship and the love bombing end, it's that middle part where everything's going up and down, up and down. It's very easy that they, oh, look what I did to you. I did for you. I bought you clothes. I took you out to dinner. We went to trips. I did this for you. I did the dishes 6 months ago. I swept the floor last year, you know, whatever. They'll make this list because you're not sure what's going on. Part of you still is attached to them. The other part is like, something's not right here. It's wrong. Something is like mentally wrong. And you're still on that it actually will make you feel guilty. Those things you do in a relationship because you want to, not because you want something back from it, okay? And you're going to be surprised. That's part of the mental conditioning. That's part of the roller coaster that you've been treated like crap and you know it's happening, then you're all of a sudden, and if a little fight comes up, then they're telling you this whole list of things that they did for you that was so wonderful and you're being ungrateful. You actually will feel guilty and you shouldn't be. That has nothing to do with what's happening to you, but just watch for that one, okay? Yeah, you are being ungrateful. You are being a bad person. This person's doing great. That's different. We're talking a narcissistic relationship, okay? Back to the new supply. Again, there's a lot of smear campaigning in that time when the new supply's there. Not only getting sympathy of all kind of stories of whatever happened to them, could be even in childhood, could even be when they're teenagers, whatever, or the whole life picture. Okay, that is part of love bombing, and at the same time, it's a little bit smear campaigning because they will exaggerate. And the other part is talking about their exes. There will be exes, we're going to talk about that differently, where they kind of pull the ex out and they don't dislike the ex. That is a different thing. It's called triangulation. So ignore that for right now. We're talking about the one, especially the most recent breakup, especially that person lives in the area that your new supply may run into, or that your old ex, the one that just walked out on you, knows a lot of people. They may need to do that. They need to, oh, they cheated on me, they did this, they stalked me, they lied to me 100 times. They're crazy. Crazy's a big one. Lying to him's a big one. Cheating on him's a big one. Those are all big normal ones used over and over. And what does a new supply do? Oh, you poor thing. That's terrible. That's horrible. Then what do? You start sharing your special moments and your secrets. Be careful. All secrets at the beginning of the narc will be used on you to get rid of you too. So careful on that. Be careful who you're with at the beginning. Always move slow to figure out if you're with your narc or not. So hey, this means their new supply has all these things in their head of who this person is. So if you ever try to come forward and warn the new supply, just watch this. Or you want to like tell her or him, don't run, they're not going to believe you. He's or she has already got the new supply condition that you still want them, you are fighting for them, you're stalking them, you're crazy, you did all these things, whatever, just stay away, they're crazy, they're dangerous, they already have that all built. So no matter if you try to go warn them or tell them, or other people you hear it, they've already been conditioned not to believe you. So they'll see for themselves, because this is another question I always ask. A lot of people get very jealous and upset of the new supply because they still attached or love them in some way, because the love bombing hasn't gone away yet. Excuse me. Has not gone away yet. They will do it to the new supply. Don't worry about that. The new supply will be dumped the same way you are. Give it time. That or they're stupid enough to stay in it longer. That's their own fault. Okay, be good. Have a nice day. I want you to be good to yourself. We're going to have more videos and more questions. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like it. Leave comments. We want to hear from you. And we'll make a new video probably tomorrow. But that's the smear campaign. Try to hold yourself together. They all do it. They were probably doing it to you, even if you didn't know. Some people know, some people don't, but they do it in all those cases, to the new supply, to friends, whatever. They only do it to people they know that will believe them. Let's put it that way, okay? So if you got a strong relationship with your friends and your family, it's not going to happen to them. It's going to happen, maybe they'll pick their friends, or they'll find an area, or the new supply. Very, very common. The new supply is going to hear all kinds of things. It's all to protect them. It's all to protect their reputation. It's so they're not responsible for their faults, so nobody finds out. They've got the control of the gears, but yes, that is a very big question. It happens a lot. Yes, 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 yes. The new supply, the one you're like, oh my gosh, they're with him or her now. It will happen to them too. Just pull back. Don't worry about it. It's not your business anymore. You got to worry about taking your new life now. You got your own new life to worry about. I know it's hard. It's hard because you're more hurt. How could this happen to me? It could be a month, a week, a year, 2 years, whatever. It will still happen to the new supply. It just depends how long that new supply is putting up with it. I mean, actually it could be a lifetime, but that new supply decided to live that kind of life. Psh, let them. That's their fault. Okay, so we'll see you again. I hope that helped you, and have a nice day. And more questions later.